Hey guys, it's Tammy. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you every perfume that I purchased in the last 6 months. So if you want to see what I got, then stay tuned. So guys, a couple of things before I get started. First of all, I'm filming on the front camera of my phone. I've never done this before, but I wanted to try something new. I kind of like being able to see the time countdown, and I kind of like being able to see myself. I just have to remember to look at the camera. The other thing is, if you think that my mouth looks a little different and if I sound a little bit different, if my S's sound a little funny, I am on Invisalign. I'm on tray 1 out of 48. And I know my teeth aren't crooked, but this is a whole thing with like me clenching my teeth and chipping my teeth and my mouth getting more and more narrow. And I'm biting the edges of my tongue and my airways are being restricted. Anyway, it's a whole thing. So welcome to a year of me wearing Invisalign. I hope you don't mind. Let me know if you have been on Invisalign too. But anyways, about 6 months ago, I sat right here and I did a 50th birthday haul. So I did my 50th birthday haul in November, and now going back to December, the first thing I purchased was from Sephora, and it was Eden Sparkling Lychee 39 by Kay Ali. And I still love this one. I have a little dent in it. It's just a pretty, fruity, girly scent. My husband loves it on me. I've really been enjoying it. It's one that I maybe would purchase the full bottle of if I ran out of it. But anyway, I was really happy with this one. I'm happy to have it. Then later in December, I actually purchased Elizabeth Arden 5th Avenue Royale. Now this was actually quite a disappointment to me. I was hoping to get the Tom Ford Noir Perfume vibes that everyone says it has. But to me, it's a very like grungy motor oil type of vanilla. I just really was quite disappointed. It was kind of a failed blind buy. I've worn it once and I didn't like it. I should give it another try though. It's just very like thick black tar petroleum resinous kind of vanilla to me. I've actually compared it to Tom Ford Noir Perfume. I have a little tiny sample of that, and that is much heavier on the vanilla. I really enjoy the Tom Ford one much, much more than this. And it was very inexpensive, so I'm not, you know, traumatized by buying this, but I know it's kind of an oldie. It's been talked about for ages, and I just felt like I was missing out, and I wanted to try it, and I kind of regret buying this one. So next came Christmas, and for Christmas, my husband got me 2 perfumes this year. One you've heard me talk about again and again, Tamine Peregrina. I absolutely love this one. I'm not gonna go on and on about it because I know I've talked about it to no end on this channel. The lotion is amazing. The perfume is amazing. Actually, last month, I went about a week straight and wore this almost every single day. I could not get enough. I was having a hard time. My hip had gone out. I was actually using a walker. I know, like you're like, yeah, well, you're 50, what do you expect? No, my hip went out. Like, you know how your back can go out to where like you can't, like your back goes out and you're on the couch and you can't move? My hip went out and I had to use my husband's grandmother's walker to get around because my husband had to go away to my son's graduation. I missed my son's graduation from university. I was a wreck. And I wore Peregrina almost every day for a week to help me feel better. And it did. It did. I loved it. It made me feel better. I don't know. Perfume makes me feel better sometimes. Does that happen to you? Anyway, so I was very happy and excited with this Christmas gift. And he also got me Scandale Le Parfum by Jean Paul Gaultier. And I do like this one. It does give me root beer vibes, which, you know, I usually tend to like. But to me, it is a very buttery version of a root beer scent. It made me think of like butterbeer. I don't even know if I've ever had butterbeer, but we go to Universal sometimes. My husband and I are Harry Potter fans, and it's just like a buttery root beer smell. The only thing about it is I think it's a little bit sweet to the point where it could almost get cloying, and I would only be able to wear this in the winter. You know, it's not like I'm ready to declutter or anything like that. Like I do enjoy it. It's just that it's very, very thick, sweet, buttery, rich. I don't know. It's almost a little bit too much, but not quite. And it definitely will work for winter, rainy, foggy days. Like, don't worry, I do like it. I love it. But it's just, sometimes I wonder if it's a little bit too much for me. But anyway, that was a great Christmas present to get. And when I had opened my advent calendar that December, I also got Tudor by Liberty London. And this is a gorgeous, oh my word, it just keeps on getting better. It's a creamy luxurious, lotiony, soapy scent, but with a gorgeous, sweet herbal touch and like some really pretty soapy sweetness. I don't know. I adore this. I'm so happy to have it. And the fact that it came in my advent calendar, because I think the full bottle is $300, $400, $500 or something. So I'm just gonna like baby my little travel size of this. And I'd also gotten the balm, the liquid balm Rose 31 from Le Labo in my advent calendar. I was super excited with this. Oh, it's really, really gorgeous. It's a really elegant, grown-up rose scent. I love it. And for Christmas, we do a Secret Santa gift exchange in my family, and my sister had my name. And one of the things she got me was Stella by Tocca. And this is actually so nice. It kind of reminds me of apple pie, but oh, it's really pretty. Like a cozy, comforting, warm, powdery apple pie smell. I really love this. I enjoy it. I've taken some of it and decanted it into a little sprayer just because this is just a little dabber. And then after Christmas, around New Year's, they were having some sales online, and I finally broke down and got Rose Extase by Nina Ricci. I have been talking about this one for a while. I've had the sample. I wore it in my California perfume vlog and talked about getting it, and I finally did get it. It was, you know, inexpensive, and I'm really happy to have this one to kind of add to my Nina Ricci collection. I have Chant d'Extase. I have like the black bottle. I have the original Extase, the brown bottle. And I'm really happy to have this. Really pretty, fruity, floral, girly, little bit plastic doll head in a good way, the kind that I like. And I'm really happy to have this. I did slow way down on my buying after this, and I didn't purchase anything online for another 2-3 months. So jumping ahead to April was the next time I purchased online. And do you remember in March, I had gone to Florida and I had shopped for niche perfumes for the first time in person. And there was one perfume that stood out above all the rest. And do you remember what that was? It was a Byredo fragrance, Animalique. Now, if you saw my winter tray recap and where I switched to my spring tray, I told you that I had a summer version of Oh La La by Theo Cabanel, one of my favorite fragrances. Nutty, cozy, warm. And the summer version of Oh La La is Animalique. You guys, this is so beautiful. So when I was telling you guys about smelling Animalique, and I knew it was something that I recognized, I found it a very sexy, gorgeous, warm, cozy, powdery, nutty type of sandalwood. It finally came to me, and it was Oh La La by Theo Cabanel. But this is much more light wearing. That's why I call it the summer version of Oh La La. Oh La La is so strong that it's only like a fall and winter scent, in my opinion. But with Animalique, I'm gonna do the spring and summer thing. Now, warning, this is not a safe blind buy. And I did smell this in store, but I had never worn it on my skin. So it was like kind of a semi blind buy. And I have to say that when you first spray it out, you get a little bit of a gasoline kind of smell. That gasoline note settles down so fast and it becomes so warm, cozy, powdery, sexy, sandalwoody. I can never think of the notes of this. I know it has probably tobacco, and I know there is sandalwood in it, even though it's not mentioned on Fragrantica, but on the Byredo website, it does name sandalwood as one of the notes. Oh, I just love it. Do be aware about the gasoline smell in the beginning. It's there, but it does totally fade away and leaves you with just what you dream of. It's just like a toned down version of Theo Cabanel Oh La La. If you have smelled that, that is totally what it reminds me of. So this is my summer Oh La La, Animalique by Byredo. And so when I placed this order on fragrancebuy.ca, I decided to add a few things to the order. One was a perfume that I've actually been wanting for a long time. When we went to Bahamas, my husband and I, he wore this while I wore Oh La La, and it was such a match made in heaven. It's This Is Us by Zadig and Voltaire. And when I got it and sprayed it, I was a little bit disappointed. I hate to say, like, the cinnamon note came out a little bit too much for me. I think it actually is going to be perfect on my husband. Maybe I'll give it to him for Father's Day. I had the sample of this for so long, and I just loved it. And every time I would take the cap off on my little sample and smell it, I kept thinking, I've got to get this someday. And actually, it was fairly inexpensive, and I think I'm glad I got it. Like, I don't know. I do like it. Just the cinnamon note came out a little bit too much for me, and it didn't in the sample. So that's why I was just a little bit disappointed in it. I'm really not upset that I have it, but could it end up in a declutter eventually? Maybe. So I actually added on a third perfume to that order, and it's one that I've heard about for a long time. Everyone seems to love it. I researched the notes. I looked at reviews, not just on Fragrantica, but reviews on different sites. It seemed so up my alley. It seemed like something I would love, and it was another blind buy fail. I'm sorry to say. Luminous by La Perla. So when I first sprayed this out, I actually don't mind it. Oh, it has a really nice sprayer. Like really nice. Slow. I love that kind of sprayer. It's not too bad, but there's something very odd about it to me. It does have that sheer sandalwood vibe. I like that about it. And when I first sprayed it, it reminded me of Cerruti 1881. Yes, I did declutter this, and I was this close to my friend taking it. When I had my friends over, I think it was for Super Bowl, we were going through my perfumes, and she had this in her hand, and I thought, there, I'm gonna get rid of it, and she didn't take it. It wasn't quite what she was looking for. It does have a little bit of a funny herbal greenness to it, so maybe that's why. Anyway, it really reminded me of this at first. When I first sprayed it, I thought, why didn't anyone tell me it smells like Cerruti 1881? I already have this. I could just bring this back out of my declutters. So the part about this perfume that kind of bothers me and that makes it a blind buy fail is a kind of spiciness to it that gets muted and dusty. And it reminds me of going to an old house and opening the spice cupboard and that old wood and old expired spices, every type of spices, cooking spices, baking spices, everything all melded together in an old musty, dusty cupboard. That's what it's giving me. It's a really strange type of spiciness, and I don't like it. I kept thinking there were some redeeming qualities about this, and I'm like, well, I do like that sheer sandalwood vibe that it has, but it's this spiciness that is so, it's like old expired spices, like just ghosts of spices. Like I'm not enjoying it. I may try it a few more times this summer, but it's probably gonna end up decluttered, to be honest. And next, you probably know that I got Pink Me Up by Atelier des Ors. I actually reviewed Atelier des Ors, and you saw how obsessed I was with Pink Me Up. I really fell in love with it. I'm so happy to have this one. I love the gold flakes in it. It's so pretty. So pretty. So I already did talk about this one in a lot of detail, so I'm not going to go into it too much, but it's champagne, it's blackberry, it's rose. It's so pretty. I'm so happy to have this one. So next came the Sephora sale, and I told you guys I would let you know what I picked up during the Sephora sale. You saw me go through my cart and my loves list and narrow everything down, but I didn't tell you exactly what I purchased. Now, a lot of it stayed, but a lot of it was returned. I had some fails in that too, but with Sephora, you can actually return things, which is awesome. I did pick up my Verb shampoo, conditioner, hair oil, and volume texture spray. This was kind of a restock because this is my favorite shampoo and conditioner. I love this. I also got the Flirt Missing Person body oil. This is one of my favorite scents. I have the perfume, I have the travel spray, I have the body lotion, and now I have the body oil. And this is really nice, but it's not a dry body oil. So be warned, this kind of stays oily on your skin. Eventually it does absorb, but it's not like a dry body oil that you can put on and then it just like absorbs in within a few minutes. It actually stays a little bit oily. But if you want that extra hydration and you want to smell like Missing Person, which is gorgeous, in my opinion, just a beautiful, musky, your skin but better scent, yeah, I would recommend this. It's just a little bit oily, just so you know. I told you for sure that I was going to be getting a full bottle of Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper by Kayali. This is one that, and look, I haven't even opened it yet. Maybe I'll open it on camera with you guys. I have known that I was going to purchase a full bottle of this for a long time, so the Sephora sale was the perfect time to do it. So let's open. Oh my gosh, here it is. Oh, wow. Oh my God, I love the bottle. Here goes. Oh, yay. Oh, I'm so happy to have this finally. Oh my God. Yeah, this was a no-brainer. This is something that I knew I would be getting and I needed. Just kidding. I think everyone has heard this described so much that you don't need me to describe it to you. It's pepper, it's rose, it's sexy, deep, jammy, beautiful. So I did purchase the Sol de Janeiro Cheriosa 59 body spray, and I did return that. I tried it in the store, and so I knew I kind of liked it. I really liked the muskiness of it. It was just a little bit too sweet for me. I received it and I sprayed it all over my clothes, all over my body, everywhere. And that night when I was about to go to bed, and I just went to the bathroom one more time, I turned on the light, and where I had laid my clothes, there was a black spider. And not to freak you out, because I know there was this whole thing about spiders and it was probably just a coincidence, but it happened to me. And since it was already a little bit too sweet for me, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna return it, you know? Just, you know, don't really need it. Don't need it. And continuing on with body sprays, I was really interested in the Salt and Stone ones. So I ordered two that I thought I would love, the Santal and Vetiver and the Black Rose and Oud. And I really didn't like either of them. The Santal and Vetiver did give the dill pickle vibes. It's supposed to be similar to Santal 33 by Le Labo, as I'm sure you know. And it was, and I get dill pickle out of that, and I got strong dill pickle vibes from Santal and Vetiver, like all the way dill pickle. When I first sprayed it, I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna get like actual sandalwood. I think I'm not gonna get the pickle. But very soon I knew that that was going to be going back. And the Black Rose and Oud was just too oudy and too dark and too, it just was stinky to me. So those two both had to go back, no question. But I heard Veronica talking about the Bergamot and Hinoki one, and I was like, oh, I think I would like it. I think I would like it. Should I? Should I? And yes, this is the one for me. This was really good. Now, it's very light wearing. Disappears very fast, but it feels really nice and fresh and cooling when you spray it on. It has a really nice sprayer. Isn't that nice? So I have been comparing this to a few different scents to see what it reminds me the most of, because it does remind me of something. I've compared it to Versace Versens to see if it reminds me of that. And I also compared it to Lanvin, A Girl in Capri. And it's kind of a mix between those two. But while I was comparing those three, I rediscovered how much I love A Girl in Capri. It is so pretty, and the dry down is gorgeous as well. So this is something that I would just use to feel fresh and to spray on myself. And maybe as it sits, it will get a little bit more strength, but it doesn't even last half an hour right now. But I don't know, I still want it. I still want it, and I'm still gonna keep it. Salt and Stone, Bergamot, and Hinoki. This is going to be much longer than I even dreamed it was going to be. I'm gonna have to like cut out most of everything I said, which isn't hard because I got a lot of rambling that I can cut out. So continuing on with the Sephora sale, I got the Henry Rose Discovery Set. I think maybe one of these I already have a dabber sample of, but it's one thing to smell them in store, but it's another thing to have the spray samples to play around with. And I'm interested in this brand. I've been hearing about them for a while, but I know that they're a clean brand. I'm really interested in getting more into clean brands. And so I thought this would be fun to play around with. Let me know if you want to hear my thoughts on this eventually. I also picked up Fleur Father Figure, just a travel size. So I had been hearing a little bit about this, and I heard that it kind of smelled like Sunfruit by Alice Brooklyn, which I know I love. So that made me feel a little bit safe blind buying this. Now, when I first sprayed it, it was actually giving me reminders of Fleur Missing Person. And I know it's by the same brand. So it had that same kind of, like, it was in the same sort of scent family as Missing Person, in the fact that it was kind of a skin scent, kind of soft, lightly sweet, just very pretty, musky. It's really nice, and it does dry down to give you a very similar experience to Sunfruit by Ellis Brooklyn, to tell you the truth. And also 22 Auras by Stephanie Letta. It's in that scent family. So if you like those, if you've tried those, then you'd kind of be safe getting Fleur Father Figure. I'm actually really happy to have this, especially with that opening that reminds me of Missing Person, which is one of my favorite scents. So yeah, I'm happy to have Fleur Father Figure. I really think that this design in this box is so pretty too. I like that. So, and another travel size I picked up is Ellis Brooklyn Miami Nectar. You've been hearing about this, I know. And I really do like this one. I do get that pineapple, and I really tend to like pineapple in perfumes. I really like the color of this bottle. It's so pretty. It's so summery. This is kind of fresh and tropical all at the same time. Oh my God, the pineapple. Yeah, the pineapple is so realistic in this to me. I really am happy to have this one. The only thing is, it does dry down a little bit sweet, and I mean really sweet. And I actually got out my sample. I don't think I'm actually going to bother comparing them right now, but I got out my sample of 7 Virtues Lotus Pear to compare it to, because the level of sweetness that this has, this dries down to that same level of sweetness. But it doesn't bother me. It still maintains that fresh, summery lightness to it. So anyway, I'm super happy to have this. I think I'm actually going to use this right up this summer. This might actually be my first perfume empty ever, if you can believe that. But yeah, you guys, I think that the Miami Nectar, I really feel like it is worth the hype if you like this type of scent. But I have to tell you about one that is kind of in this family, but I didn't like it at all, and I returned it, and I actually have already sent it back. So I don't have the bottle with me, but it is by Way, and it is St. Bart's. And I have had the St. Bart's body scrub, like the sugar scrub, and I actually liked the smell of it. So I felt like I was kind of safe buying that, and everybody has been raving about it. So I thought, okay, this is going to be a safe buy for me. This is going to be summery. This is going to be fresh, fruity, tropical, gorgeous. And when I got it, I instantly knew that I didn't like it. I sprayed it out. My husband and my son were standing nearby, and they were both like, oh, that smells good. Ooh, wow. And I feel like I'm the only odd one out who's not going to like St. Bart's, even though I did like the scent of the body scrub. But there's just, it does have like a tropical fruit, maybe pineapple, with coconut. But it is the like air freshener, artificial, weird type of coconut that I don't like, and I just can't do. I knew from first spray, I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna have to return it. I don't like it. But my husband and my son liked it so much, I'm like, maybe I'll keep it and I'll try it and I'll play around with it, but I don't like it. So I returned it. And then today I was watching Amy Glam, and she was talking about it, and the way she described it, she was in love with it, and she was hyping it up to the max, and which you would if you loved a perfume. But it had me almost gaslighting myself into thinking, oh, actually, maybe I do need that. But I had to remind myself, no, Tammy, you did not like it. So it's okay if you don't like the same perfumes that everyone else likes. And remember that too. Any of the ones I'm talking about today, you may hate the ones I love, and you may love the ones I hate. We're like that with perfume, aren't we? Like, it's so individual. But no, I could not do the St. Bart's. It was an artificial style of coconut to me. And I wish I liked it, and there's things about it that I did like, but I had to return it for sure. It was an absolute no for me. So we're getting to the end of the Sephora haul, and actually some of these I ordered after the sale. So I think, for example, like Dead Cool Taunt, the travel size of this is one that I got after the Sephora sale, but that's okay. And I actually ordered the Taunt car freshener, and I put that in my car, and I'm crazy over it. I'm crazy over it. I'm gonna order a couple more. I can't stand the thought of my car not smelling like that forever and ever. I mean it. Like, it's lemon and vanilla, but with a beautiful musk, like a soapy clean musk to it. Now, the actual perfume, I find a little bit more gourmand leaning than the car freshener. Oh, it's really lovely. If you like the lemon vanilla scents, I think you would like Dead Cool Taunt. Like, if you like Let me see if I can name some of the lemon vanilla scents, like Lemon Tart by Theodoros Kalatinas, like Lyra by Xerjoff, Acro Bake, Unknown Pleasures by Kerosene, like all the lemon vanillas. I think that you would like this. Now, oh my God, I love this one. I love it. This would probably be my favorite of any lemon vanilla that I've ever tried. I'm saying there's lemon and vanilla in it. That's just what I'm smelling. I haven't even looked up the notes, so I don't know for sure. But Taunt by Dead Cool, I'm so happy with this. I'm glad that I just have the travel size because I don't go through product very fast, as y'all know. But I am definitely going to pick up a couple more of the car freshener because every time I would get in the car, I was like, what perfume am I wearing today? What smells so good? What am I wearing? And I'd realize it was the car freshener. But I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love Dead Cool Taunt, the perfume too. This is a little free. This was one of the offers, I think, or it was either an offer or it was a points on Sephora, but it's like Good Girl Elixir. It's pretty. I think it is kind of typical, but it's pretty. And I thought that this was so cute, you guys. I do like the high heel bottles. They've really grown on me. I remember thinking they were so tacky originally, and now I really love them. But look, they're so fun. So I think I have covered everything that I got at Sephora this spring. I just have 2 more categories left. I think the category I'll talk about is my little Winners and Marshalls purchases. If you're in the States, you have TJ Maxx, you have Burlington Coat Factory, you have Ross, you probably have Home Sense, Marshalls. I don't know what y'all have there, but you have quite a few things. Now in the Winners category, I call that my little sprinkle category because every time I go away to the mainland, I take a little pop into Winners and I'll buy maybe 1 perfume for $16.99. I have found some real amazing finds doing that. So sprinkled throughout these 6 months, here are some of the ones that I've purchased at Winners. The first one is Element Edition Pearl. And there are several in this line. There's Sapphire, there's Veil, Emerald. I've smelled quite a few of them, and this is the only one that I really, really love. It's a beautiful soapy musk, very clean, very fresh. I've actually shown this one on my channel, and I've mentioned that it reminds me of Musc Outre Blanc by Guerlain, and it really does. It is a beautiful, oh my gosh, it smells like soap bubbles to me. It smells like bubble bath. It's pretty. It was $16.99. You can't beat that. And I'm really happy to have this one. It's very me, very fresh and clean, light, bubbly, happy. I love this one. Another one that I got for $16.99 is Verado Perfume. And I don't know the brand. It's probably just like a TJ Maxx brand or whatever. It's got these little dangly things, not really my style, but there was something about this. Oh my gosh. It's so deep and sweet and sexy. I haven't had a chance to like do a full comparison, but I've sprayed and just kind of sniffed real quick. And it does remind me of Gucci Flora Gorgeous Gardenia, or even something like the Good Girl Elixir. It would remind you of maybe Voce Vive Intense. It's got that style where it has like a really like deep, beautiful floral, but a lot of sweetness to it. I feel like this would replace all of the ones that I just mentioned. I could have this in place of all of those. And it was $16.99. And my Winners is starting to carry some of the finery fragrances. And I saw Sunforia there the other day and I resisted buying it because I already have enough like sunscreeny, beachy, tropical type of scents. And that one, when I was smelling it from the cap, it smelled a little bit plasticky to me. And so I was like, I think I can do without that one. Although I'm sure people love it. But the one I did pick up is Before the Rainbow. And this is very much like Wood Sage and Sea Salt by Jo Malone, which is one of my all-time favorites. You might know that. Some people have compared it to MAC Turquoise as well. And I can see that comparison also, but it's more like, it's sort of like a candied version of Wood Sage and Sea Salt. That's what I would describe it as. I compared them side by side one day, And what I did was I usually wear wood sage and sea salt. That's a lot of S's for my Invisalign. I usually wear wood sage and sea salt when I go on the treadmill. So instead I wore this. I sprayed it all over, everywhere. And I also sprayed it on the back of my hand and wood sage and sea salt on the back of my other hand. So I could experience before the rainbow and the wearing experience of it. And I could also compare it by sniffing the back of my hand to wood sage and sea salt. My God, it got so dark again in here. And comparing them side by side, they were more similar than I even expected they would be. They're not identical. Like I said, this is just a little bit sweeter, but it's fresh. It's really nice. And you know, this bottle, I actually kind of like this bottle. It's really nice, heavy glass. And yeah, finery before the rainbow. I'm really happy that I have this one. Now, I am not one to spray the bottles of perfume at Winners because I know it compromises, you know, the integrity of the bottle or whatever, but you can tell when you take the cap off and you sniff it, whether a perfume has been sprayed before. When I got to Winners this one day and took the cap off, I could smell it really clearly when I took the cap off. And so I knew it had been sprayed. So maybe I shouldn't, but I did do one spray on the back of my hand. And I had a cart full of some clothes to try on, so I went into the changing room. And as I was taking clothes off, putting clothes on, every time my hand went by my nose, I instantly felt like I was on the set of Bridgerton. I felt like I was the diamond of the season. I kept putting my hand by my face and I kept thinking, can you tighten my corset a mite? Like, I literally felt like I was an 18th century British lady, like young, beautiful princess. I felt like I was a princess. I felt like I was an ethereal fairy tale goddess. Like, oh my God. This is by Captivating Essences, and it is black currant and sandalwood. If you ever have the chance to smell this into Ross, Burlington Coat Factory, TJ Maxx, Winners, Marshalls, anywhere, please smell it and let me know what you think. It is black currant and sandalwood, but the black currant is not sharp, it's not harsh, it's really, really softly sweet. The sandalwood is so gentle, just the right amount of wood to make it just like grounded, a little bit. It's a little bit of a sheer sandalwood, so it's kind of ethereal. I don't even know what to say. I have never smelled anything like this. I don't have anything to compare it to. I usually love to tell you guys something that I can compare it to so that it can give you an idea of what it smells like, but I don't know what to say. Like, I just want to wear this all the time, and I have been wearing it a lot. It was roaring full when I got it, and so I have used quite a bit of it. Anyways, I don't know. It's just so pretty. It was $16.99. Très affordable, you know. Captivating Essences, black currant and sandalwood eau de parfum. It's so pretty. I'm so happy to have this. Like, I didn't even have the bottle in my cart at that point. I had just sprayed it on my hand. And as I was changing and trying on clothes, I thought, I'm not leaving without this, I'll tell you that. I'm not leaving the store without this. So I got it. I also picked up a little discovery set of Mix Bar. And the only one I've smelled so far out of these, well, actually, Cloud Musk, I already had a bottle of that. I sprayed on vanilla bourbon the other day. My friend Yulia from ScentSiblings.ca was talking about how that reminded her of commodity milk. And so I kind of did a little comparison. And I could see it, but it really reminded me a lot of something else. And what was it? I can't remember. Maybe I'll do a little, maybe I'll rank my discovery sets sometime. I probably have 20, 30, 40, 50 discovery sets. Maybe I'll do a little ranking and talk about them a little bit. Well, that would be an awfully long video, but I could just like kind of give a real brief description. Try not to be too rambly-tambly. Yeah, I was pretty excited to pick up this little fun discovery set. Now they have these Memoir Archives sets with 4 bottles in them. I picked this up one time. It's $29.99. I thought it would be kind of a fun gift for someone sometime, although I can't not spray them. So they're going to be getting a gift that's been used. But yeah, this one has Destination Unknown, Garden Party, By the Sea, and Wish You Were Here. I don't have my thoughts formed on these yet, but I just thought it'd be fun to show you this. I thought it's a really sweet little box. Like, what a cute gift this would make, eh? And then I got this one. Isn't this so pretty and summery? I love this one. And this, I haven't tried any of these. I haven't even opened this or sprayed them. Again, this is $29.99 for 4 bottles. I mean, that's, my gosh, that's only like $7 and something a bottle. Really good. And these are, how many mil do these have? 30? 20? 30? 30 maybe. So this has, this one has Flower Stand, Candy Shop, Disco Party, and Picnic in the Park. And I've never smelled any of these before, so I'm really super excited to have this. I just think this is so cute and pretty and summery, and I couldn't resist it. Honestly, like I couldn't resist it. I could, but I didn't. This is going to be a long one. If anyone is still here, just leave me like a pink heart to show me that you're still hanging on. I only have one category left. I'm gonna call it my Carnival Amusement Park haul. I just compared it to when you go to an amusement park and you want to win a big stuffed teddy bear. And so you spend all this money trying to win the big stuffed teddy bear. That's what it reminded me of, because these are all like very cheap price-wise. So for $3.99, I picked up Justin Bieber The Key, and this is a hair mist. I talked about this in my body sprays video, and it reminds me of actual apple juice. Like actual apple juice. Not bad. $3.99, just a fun little pickup. The cap doesn't even stay on very well. Well, actually, oh, it's staying on now. Must be the humidity. I picked up Beyonce Heat. This is one that I don't know, some of my fragrance friends have said to me, like, you really need to pick this up. You need to smell this. It's just a cute little 15 ml, and it sprays. It's not just a dabber, you know. This is kind of a really sexy, sweet scent. I think, is this compared to Crystal Noir, or am I mistaken on that? Anyways, I'm happy to have this and play around with it. I really like cute little bottles like this. I think they're sweet. And this was only $9.99, by the way. Now I also picked up for $11.99, I got a travel size of Clean Suede Oud. And I have had a sample of this in the past, and I thought I remembered quite liking it. Now that I got it, it is a little bit masculine, I think. This might be really nice for my husband. This is almost a very fall-like scent to me. It reminds me kind of crunchy leaves. It reminds me of like the fall air, a little bit spicy, woody. I am gonna maybe get my husband to try this one and see what it's like on him. And for $18.99, I purchased this little set, which I thought was kind of a good deal because I feel like this is highly sought after and hard to find. And this is Britney Spears' Private Show. This has a little lip pencil and the lotion, but mostly I was interested in the perfume. I sprayed it and I really do like it. Like, I was getting a little bit of the coffee and a little bit of the fruitiness. I haven't had a chance to wear it or play around with it too much yet, but I am pretty happy to have it. I think it's like, it's kind of like a cult favorite, you know, everybody's always on the lookout for this, and $18.99, good price, and you know, just kind of fun one to play around with. Britney Spears' Private Show. And I think this next one is the last one. This one I am so happy to have, and it is Stella McCartney Pop. I always remember hearing Ksenia talking about this, and she absolutely loved it. And I think that there's a blue one too, like a bluebell one maybe. Anyway, this one has a little bit of a funky sprayer on it. It doesn't always work the best. I love this scent. This is one of my favorite bedtime scents now. It is so pretty and fruity, a little bit fresh and green, and it has the plastic doll head scent, like in the best way possible. I don't always like a plasticky scent or something that reminds me of like melted plastic. This is the good, like the strawberry shortcake dolls that you would smell their head and they had like a little strawberry scent to them. That's what it reminds me of. This is like nostalgia. It is fresh and pretty. It is amazing even as a linen spray if you just want to spray it on your sheets before bed. My mouth is getting so tired of talking with this Invisalign in. I think it's the most I've talked since I got this thing. This was $34.99, so not too bad. This is actually the main one that I was buying off of Lisa's Cosmetics that day, and I just added all these little, you know, $3.99, $9.99 ones to the order to just make a little bit more of a fun order. But you guys, I love this. What did you think of my haul? Did you think it was overkill? Look, I just have never seen the back of this box before. I've never noticed it. Doesn't Brittany look so pretty? She's a doll. I love Brittany. One more thing I did forget was the Charlotte Tilbury, the new Emotions Fragrance Discovery Set. I did have that. I did a video on it. And I did a little giveaway and I gave away that set. I have sent that off to Rachel. She was one of my subscribers. She wrote me on Instagram and she was interested in the set and I sent it off to her in Virginia. So I hope that reaches her okay and I hope she really enjoys that discovery set. There were a couple of scents that I really liked out of that set and I felt like I had really good comparisons in that video. If you want to check that out, I will link that up here. Not sure where. So let me know what you guys thought of my 6-month collective haul. Does this seem like a lot to you, or can you compartmentalize it into like, okay, this is half a year, so really it's not that much when you really think about it. That's how I kind of feel about it, although I'd like to slow down even more and I'd like to do even more declutters. I really have that urge and that feeling that I've been hearing a lot of my friends talk about of just wanting to pare down and not wanting to have an overwhelming collection. Some of these were silly little purchases. I mean, I really didn't need these. They were just kind of fun little pickups. I'm not perfect. My most disappointing one was Luminous by La Perla. I was so disappointed with that one. And that was $99. So that wasn't like a cheap blind buy. That was like a real blind buy fail for me. And I am gonna still try playing around with it because I know our opinions can change, our noses can change, and our tastes can change on perfumes over time. So I'm not completely giving up on it just yet, but I'm super happy with a lot of them. I'm really happy to have my full bottle of Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper. This is probably one of my favorite purchases. Really super happy with Miami Nectar, Before the Rainbow. It's another one of my favorites. Of course, Pink Me Up. Probably Peregrina is my top favorite out of all of these, to be honest. So guys, let me know what were some of your favorite pickups over the last few months. Did you have any blind buy fails like I did, or are you a little bit wiser than me? I just really want to thank you guys so much for spending your time with me today. I really appreciate it. I would love it if you would give this video a thumbs up. That would mean the world to me. It really helps my channel, really helps my video get out there. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I would love that too. So anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye. You guys, I totally forgot to mention this one that I got lately. There is an Old Navy that is in the same parking lot as the Winners. So sometimes I just take a little hop across the parking lot, check out Old Navy. My green shirt that I was wearing in my Juliana's Perfumes video, I got at Old Navy. And the same day I got this Cotton Flower and Shea perfume, and it is pretty much identical to Clean Skin. And by that I mean not Clean Skin, I mean Skin by Clean Reserve. I've never purchased Clean Skin, although I like it, and now I don't need to because I have an identical copy of it. Super, super, super duper affordable. Yeah, Cotton Flower and Shea by Old Navy Loves You, 30 ml, $14.99, and now I don't have to ever purchase Skin by Clean because I have this. It's identical.